I recently had a question about pink chocolate or ruby chocolate. I remember when this first came out, as a cacao farmer, right, and chocolate maker, I was very suspicious when this came out. Because with the ruby chocolate, it was said that this was like a new variety of cacao, and it was really hyped up, very secretive. But you know, when you buy a ruby chocolate bar and you look at the ingredients, first ingredient is sugar. Next is cocoa butter. Cocoa butter is the fat that is squeezed out of liquid chocolate. And cocoa butter is an off-white color. Milk, which is in powdered form. Cocoa liqueur. Now, that does not mean alcohol. Cocoa liqueur just means liquid chocolate. So the hard, crunchy beans, when these are ground up, these liquefy. Think about peanuts in a peanut butter. They're half fat. And so with the chocolate liqueur, you know, how is it pink? Because, you know, when you have cacao beans, these are pictures I've taken over the years. You've got some beans that are all white, some that are kind of marbled purple and white, kind of pinkish inside to dark purple. And so, but once these are fermented and dried, they all turn a shade of brown. They don't stay white, pink, purple. They all turn brown. So then how are they making pink chocolate? Okay, so what they're doing is they're taking beans that are kind of purpley and they're pulling them out of the ferment early, which is kind of gross because the ferment is the most important step in developing that chocolate flavor and that chocolate aroma. It's not something that you want to end early or over ferment. You want to do a really good job, thorough job in the ferment. So they're pulling out the beans from the ferment early. They're soaking them in citric acid. And what that is doing is it's making those beans that pink color. And then that's ground up into chocolate. And then the last ingredient is vanilla. So this is mostly sugar, cocoa butter, milk, and then it's these cacao beans that are soaked in citric acid to make them bright and then ground up into chocolate. And that's why the ruby chocolate has that sour raspberryness to it, because the beans are not quite fermented. But this is primarily sugar, cocoa butter, which is coming from regular chocolate, and then milk powder. So it's a great marketing technique, but not a new variety of chocolate. They're just soaking it in citric acid. It's a lot of sugar.